This is KGW News at 5.
And thank you for joining us at 5. I'm John Adams, and we begin with an unsolved homicide from 2020 that's still keeping a Southwest Washington family up at night. Now they're pleading with the public for any help in solving the case. Sydney Dorner has the story.
Sandra Ladd was murdered right here in the Summer Slope neighborhood of Washougal, Washington. Her family has no idea why or who did it almost 3.5 years later.
It's time. We need to have some closure to this and let my aunt have justice. We want more answers. We want to be able to understand what's going on and why it's taking so long.
Over the weekend of June 12, 2020, Sandra Ladd was murdered in her home on 41st Street in Washougal, Washington.
The next thing that we know is 911 was called on June 14th, which would have been Sunday. So somehow in that time the murder took place. I'm not sure when. We haven't been told any of that detail.
Kelly says Sandra had just come back from a trip to Long Beach with her family.
She was at home. She was found at home and she had been stabbed.
Sandra was 71 at the time of her death, dedicated to her 4 children and 6 grandkids.
And she devoted all of her time and love to her children, raising them, and her grandkids. She always put everybody else first and herself last.
Ladd spent 30 years working at the Washougal School District as an administrative assistant. Kelly says someone must know something.
May have heard something. Even if they're scared, they need to come forward for the family, please, and for my aunt. We need justice.
Crime Stoppers of Oregon is assisting with the case. They're offering $2,500 in cash to anyone who gives a tip that leads to an arrest. Tips can remain anonymous. Sydney Dorner, KGW News.
Well, turning to weather now, the calendar says January, but it's feeling more like May in some parts of the viewing area today. It's currently 48 degrees in the Rose City on your Sunday night. Meteorologist Joe Ranieri is joining us now. Great day out there, Joe.
Fantastic. Now, if you want the sunshine, you have to head west a little bit. I'm going to bring up our coastal cameras up there over in along the Central Oregon coast right now. Lincoln City, 15 minutes ago, we were starting to see some really nice blue skies pop out there throughout the clouds. Right now, we're seeing a temperature of 65 degrees. John, get this. There was one place that saw a record high earlier today. That was Eugene. High close to 70 degrees. They topped out at 69 earlier this afternoon. Here's a live look over at Aloha from the reserve. A little bit of some pink sky out there in Washington County. Temperatures are in the upper 50s, and hopefully you had a chance to enjoy the warm conditions. I know we didn't see as much sunshine as we would have liked, but still, we're looking at another round of temperatures in the upper 50s to low 60s potentially heading into tomorrow. And here we are for tomorrow. It's going to be another mild day. We'll be looking at temperatures really throughout most of the morning in the mid 50s heading into the afternoon. I wouldn't be surprised. A few spots are looking at anywhere from 58 to maybe 60 degrees tomorrow afternoon. Now, we are going to be seeing a little bit of some patchy areas of fog to start things off tomorrow, but this is our next weather maker. That's going to be moving in late tomorrow night and into Tuesday. It's going to be basically more dry than wet over the next few days, but still, look at these temperatures are definitely warm heading into late January. Early tomorrow morning, we're looking at temperatures after midnight in the mid 50s. Your Monday morning commutes can be right around 54, 55 degrees with highs close to 60 degrees. I'll talk more about your detailed forecast and when we'll get more a traditional January weather pattern. That's coming up in a few minutes.
All right, Joe, thank you. Well, students in 2 school districts in the Gorge will finally be returning to campus this week after the devastating ice storm 2 weeks ago. Students in the Corbett district will be returning tomorrow. In a note to families, the district superintendent said all buildings now have heat, working plumbing and sprinkler systems, and no standing water from busted pipes. Some classrooms will be without carpet for a few weeks as they wait for it to be replaced. Meanwhile, students across the river in the Mount Pleasant district will be returning to school on Tuesday. However, classrooms in the main building are still in need of some repairs, so classes will be held in the cafeteria, gymnasium, and portable buildings. Some good news, though. District officials say asbestos testing came back negative, so repairs can proceed much faster. Well, a heads up for drivers in northwest Multnomah County. Rocky Point Road is closed between Skyline Boulevard and Highway 30 because of this. The recent winter storm followed by heavy rains is causing some major erosion to the roadway. No word yet on how soon that road might be repaired. And Amtrak service is once again disrupted between Portland and Seattle because of another landslide in Philida. It's the third time this week in the same location. All trains are canceled until Tuesday. Amtrak says they're working to get buses for affected passengers. Well, for the fourth year in a row, local nonprofit Sunshine Division and Kaiser Permanente gave out 3,000 food boxes to food insecure families in Portland on Friday. Now, this takes place every year to honor and celebrate MLK Day on January the 15th, but this year, because of the snow and ice storms, they rescheduled it for the 26th. Both organizations have a goal of providing 90,000 meals to families in need. With the help of the Portland Police Bureau and numerous local supporters, Sunshine Division has distributed more than 7 million meals to over 300,000 households through their 2 food pantries, home deliveries, and bulk food distribution programs since 2020.